he's not quite Hugo Lloris in terms of. I'm not being unfair here because Hugo Lloris.
No. You know he's got a clanger in him.
Aye. Even though he's won World Cups, he's done all that. I always think he's got a clanger in him. De Gea has just not as much, in my opinion. But that doesn't detract from the fact, once again, they're just solely reliant on if Marcus Rashford doesn't score.
Right.
You know, he's looking for his 30th goal of the season. He didn't get it. He had a few pot shots. Anthony had a couple in the first half. This Weghorst, dropping a bit deeper, it worked once, I believe, in Barcelona, of all places, it worked. And then it's not really worked again at all. And Casemiro looks a bit leggy now as well, in the middle of the park. So, yeah, I mean, off the back of the Brighton game, another really bang average performance by this Ten Hag side.
As we've seen, Steve, recently, bang average is a fair description of what we've seen from United. Yeah. What's wrong?
Personnel. Let's be honest. I mean, what other supposed top side in any country on the planet right now would have Martial or Weghorst playing up front? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Anthony, as much as we all talk about ability, has not delivered on a regular basis. And Rashford kind of seems, it almost seems now as if Manchester United players believe we just need to give him the ball because nobody else is going to score. I mean, that's the kind of feeling you get. So, yeah, Man United they've progressed, right? No question. But in order for them to take another step forward, they're going to have to make some signings. There's no question about that.
And Martinez is a big miss as well, obviously.
Is he?
Well, there's only one of those.
Is he?
Actually, we had.
I mean, if he could score some goals, then I might agree with you. But
for this summer, I digress a little bit. For this summer tournament that United are playing Dortmund,
yes,
we had Karl-Heinz Riedler on a clip recently and Dennis Irwin.
Oh, you are digressing, yep.
Yeah, and Dennis Irwin was highly positive about Martinez.
Well, can I ask you a question? Who does Dennis Irwin work for? Oh, Man United.
There's a shot, but there's only one. There's only
a Man United employee talking up another Man United employee. There's a shot.
Martinez and Varane will, all things being equal, will play next year, probably. They may go and buy another centre-back to cover, but they've got Lindelof, they've got Maguire. Might get rid of Maguire, might not. Shaw will play left-back, and he's played well this year. I'm not a huge fan of Wan-Bissaka. I don't think he's good enough going forward for the level of play that Man United need. But it's also crystal clear that whether it's Harry Kane or whoever it is, that's where the money needs to go.
Sure.
The money needs to go on somebody that's going to deliver them, almost guarantee them 30 goals a season plus. Can't ask Marcus Rashford to keep doing it. So that's unlikely. This is probably a one-off season in terms of the goals he scored. You need a natural finisher, and who else is out there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's United's big chance, it's Kane's big chance.
They're negotiating a contract with David De Gea at the moment. How hard should they push to keep him?
Well, the other side, the question you have to ask yourself.
The other side of the coin.
No.
Yeah, don't say that.
The other side of the equation. Change. You have to ask yourself, who else is out there?
Right.
That's the bottom line. You've got to balance up the mistakes with maybe not being the best with his feet to generally a lot of times saving United during games with great saves. You have to balance that up in terms of who's out there, and I would say it slightly weakens
Navas.
His position a little bit.
You think Keylor Navas, Frank?
Yes. I mean, 2 years ago, the guy was still the best goalkeeper in the world. It's because of the choice of Galtier with Donnarumma that he ends up at Nottingham Forest. But I can tell you, I saw him playing. There is no doubt that the guy didn't lose anything. And I'm sure he can serve Man United. He knows how to play with his feet. And he's a fantastic goalkeeper. He has a great mentality. He's a hard worker. That can be a possibility.
You got Mendy at Chelsea, who's just seems to have slipped into oblivion.
Yes.
I mean, he was at one point, when Kepa was struggling, he was arguably the best keeper in the Premier League.
Yep.
And then,
but then by the end of his time, before he got injured, he was struggling.
Yeah.
He was struggling.
So the answer is he'll probably De Gea will probably get his dough and stay.
To our rules experts, should West Ham have had a penalty, Frank?
Yes, at the end of the just before half-time, yes, it was an handball. And now the new rule says, you know, if he touches the end, it's an handball. So for me, Lindelof did it, and as Mr. Moyes said, you know, they should have looked at it.
Don't you think he moves it out, Steve?
He touches it.
There.
Yeah, he moves it out. So he tries to block the ball with his hand. So. Unfortunate, we don't care. It doesn't exist in the law.
It's almost like a reaction, Frank, isn't it? It's almost like I don't.
Yeah, but Craig, you know me. I know it's stupid. I would have never say in our time penalty for that because the guy tries to get out of the system with his hand. But now the rule says if he touches the end, unfortunate or not, it's a penalty. So you don't think, you just do.
Stephen?
For me, it hits him smack on the hand, right?
Right.
It doesn't hit his arm. Yes, his arm does this, but his hand's on his hip.
But isn't it that movement?
But it hits him in the hand.
It doesn't matter.
If it hits him out here when he's doing this, then that to me that's completely different. But the fact that his hand, even though he's moving this part, his hand's on his hip. So that's why I don't think it's a penalty.
Right. It doesn't matter.
I thought he moved
West Ham won the game, so fortunately we don't have to talk about it too much. And a conversation I didn't think we were going to have. You know, people have been forcing this top four narrative just to fill some time. But it is actually, I suppose, a conversation now, given that Liverpool are 1 point behind United. United do have a game in hand. The only thing that kind of counteracts the argument, and you look at United's running, and it's an absolute dream, isn't it?
They've got three home games and one at Bournemouth.
Like, none of these teams have got anything to play for that United are playing.
And United are a different team at home. They're a completely different team at home than what they are away from home. I mean, I just don't personally see it. I just don't see it.
I think Liverpool is going to be playing the old Thursday, Sunday.
And Liverpool's got a couple of away games.
Thursday, Monday or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, Thursday, Sunday, isn't it? The old Europa job.
Liverpool have been bang average as well away from home. You talk about giving up chances.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't see it.
You're not building much up today, are you?
No,
We're trying to build up the title race. You poo-pooed that. We're trying to build up the top four.
Being very realistic, Craig.
Frank, with your percentages again?
Well, I think you know, I thought, you know, that it was done and the first four will be the first four at the end. But now I have some doubts, you know. It's possible. And Manchester United, the way they play, the involvement of some players, the commitment of some players, I'm not 100%. And I feel that they can slip at some point. Maybe against Chelsea, because Chelsea is back. Be careful. No, I'm kidding.
I get the feeling, yeah, well, I mean, I suppose.
Dan's you're not a fan of Chelsea, Dan, are you?
Sorry?
You're not a fan of Chelsea, I believe.
Oh, you're dragging that back up, are you?
No, I'm just saying you're not a fan of Chelsea. That's
what, because I said that Arsenal would win easily?
Have I missed this conversation?
This was ahead of the Arsenal
did,
game.
Yeah.
Stevie got his knickers in a twist because I said Chelsea weren't a good team. And he said, well, why even bother playing? And then Arsenal destroyed them.
But, you know,
that was
it.
What
he did was his usual. What he did was his usual.
You left yourself open again.
No, I didn't.
I think you did.
He didn't. I got about 4 words into my explanation, and then he went on his smarty pants.
Well, your explanation started with Chelsea are a quality team.
Well, see, that's where you're wrong again. I didn't say that. So you know what he's like? He doesn't listen to what you say. I didn't say that. I said they've got quality players.
Right. Who weren't playing well.
There you go. Thank you.
How'd the game go?
You got it right.
Yeah.
You got it right eventually.
But just briefly, if United, I think it's similar, the top four for me with the title running. If Man City that is, take care of the first game away at Everton,
right.
I don't see them getting stopped. If there's a blip in that game, maybe the pressure gets cranked up. Same with United.
Right.
If they beat Wolves at home, which they should, I think that's it. They're just going to roll on and get the points. If for some reason they make a hash of it, then Liverpool are absolutely banging the game. So I think for both these teams, the Manchester teams, the first game out of the run-in is arguably the most important, just to sort of put it to bed.
Meanwhile, West Ham, of course, been flirting with relegation pretty much for the whole season, flirting with the idea of getting rid of David Moyes as well. But in the end, David Moyes has led them to safety, 37 points. It's safe to say, despite mathematically, of course, they can still be caught, given the quality or lack of it that we've seen from those 5 teams battling for safety. I think we can pretty much safely say that West Ham will be in the Premier League next season. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.